your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Bello on the bello on the
Yo, what's going on? It's Jay.
It's big.
Lit Logic, episode 74. Got Zay Rich in the building from In the Zone podcast. If you haven't seen him already,
You just ain't watching.
you just ain't watching.
Shout out to our boy, man. We missed him today, man. Shout out to Santos,
Shout out to
man.
my co-host, man. Santos.
Shout out to that man.
AKA Hi Mom.
Wanda, we love you. We love you.
Alright, man.
This is
So
all facts.
These are the facts.
today's topic, man, Dave Chappelle had a Netflix special come out. You know, there's some controversy going on about it. The transgender people, the LGBT, whatever you want to call it, they're upset, calling him transphobic, trying to cancel him, trying to do all this other, you know what I mean, goofy shit. So, you know, I promised my co-host when we was talking about doing this episode that I was going to try to be on my best behavior. So
Please try to be on your best behavior.
I'm going to try.
At least he said he was going to try, ladies and gentlemen. At least he said he was
Man.
gonna try.
So,
Okay, first of all, he lied.
Yes.
He lied.
See, if you knew what was in his cup.
I'm gonna tell you why he lied. Because he invited me.
oh
And I ain't trying.
You should have seen this man before the camera sitting over there like Darth Vader.
my God, man. This one, I don't know, man. They on Twitter like wilding.
Like they really want to.
So I ain't even gonna lie. Alright, so I only heard about it because my wife was telling me because I don't follow I don't follow anybody. I ain't seen nothing myself.
Right.
So, you know, enlighten me on some of the things. Because I just watched the special today when you hit me. Like, you hit me, I was going to watch it. I was going to take my time, but I was like, I can't talk about it without knowing.
Yeah, no.
I got to see exactly what my boy said.
Right.
As I expected, nothing.
Yeah, who
But,
said
you
nothing?
know, so what are their complaints?
Their complaints are what they usually are. They're, you know, someone is going against how they feel or how they identify, and it's a problem. Which, if you watch the special, another thing is a lot of these people that are talking about it or having complaints about it haven't watched the special.
Maybe see the quote.
So the people that are making the complaints, which is the LBG community.
Yeah, or people that, what's the word? That are like with, like they,
The support.
Yeah, they support, basically, they support the LGBT community, which I feel like you could support without, you know.
I mean, I support the community. I mean, I support the black community, you know, and community that's, you know, for right, but in the same sense, jokes are jokes. I mean, nobody got in an uproar about black jokes. You know what I mean? Black jokes, white comedians make black jokes all the time. There are black people in the audience that laugh at it.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying everybody in the LBG community, you know, are part of those, you know, laughing jokes, but there are some people that be in crowds, not saying his particular, but they be in comedy crowds where there are comedians that do say jokes that may quote unquote be offensive to, you know, depending on how, I like to say depending on how your stomach can take it. Because some people can take a joke, some people can't.
If you can't take a joke, don't watch comedy.
You don't know how many jokes I've seen about lynching of black people, about not even on the fact of lynching, but just the racial stereotypes, like all black people like fried chicken, all black people eat watermelon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All black people, you know, are more athletic than whites. You know, it's just different.
It's not myth.
I knew it. You wait for one. But I mean,
interrupt your point.
No, but it's in the same sense. Like I said, I see both sides. Like, I don't mean to backtrack, but look at what was a couple months ago. Look at what the baby said on stage. You know about, you know, I'm not gonna quote unquote every word, but you know, it was a mist of, you know, dudes sucking dick in the parking lot or whatever he was saying. And yeah,
I don't even think that's what they was mad about. They was mad about the AIDS comment he said. But
yeah,
my thing is this:
but a lot of
he didn't say those like they was correlated.
But the thing
he
about
first said, if you wasn't sucking dick in the parking lot, make some noise. He made some noise. Then he said, if you don't have AIDS, make some noise.
He could have left out
or STD. Was it insensitive? Very insensitive. So, but it's like why can't people express themselves? Like, but obviously, if you have somebody who died from AIDS or whatever the case may be, you may have took offense to that.
But the LBG community are not the only people that, you know, get affected by AIDS or any transmission.
He was canceled because he first mentioned. I don't even think
he's not canceled.
Nobody gets canceled.
Yeah.
No, nobody. Quote
We're gonna
unquote.
talk about that too.
Yeah.
Depending on who you know, depending on who you are. Depending on who you
Make sure
are.
I'm on that one.
I mean, honestly, it really don't. It don't even really matter who you are because you really can't even name one person who actually got canceled.
No.
Including R. Kelly.
No.
Just people still listen to his music.
Yeah.
Because
Don't get canceled, bro.
I mean, you know what? I'm gonna be biased on that one. I'm gonna say the artist can get canceled, but their work will never get canceled.
I can't even say artist get canceled.
He don't get canceled.
R. Kelly, they
still support R. Kelly.
There's people that still go to the baby shows or listen to.
Yeah, because they're not gonna stop listening to the
because
art.
they don't give a fuck.
They're not gonna stop listening to the music.
They don't give a fuck about how a certain thing, like what they gotta do with them.
True.
There's some people that really don't care. The same thing with you can't cancel Dave Chappelle because there's people that really don't care.
No.
And they're still gonna see his shows because he's funny. They can tell.
Because when you work with Dave Chappelle, you know what you're getting. He's been doing these kind of jokes his entire career. His last few stand-ups had these kind of jokokes.
His shows.
All his last
shows basically
they always had these kind of jokes.
And not even
including taking digs at white people.
And not even like I said, not even piggybacking, but you know, his upbringing. He came from an upbringing where, you know, he's seen that type of shit. Mm-hmm. He's seen racial shit. He may seen, you know, other shit, but that's just like, even with artists, that's the shit that they talk about. You know, rap artists, comedians, they talk about and they rap about what they see and what they feel because that's why they're artists. Just as the same where people go on marches. Like there's the Million Man March. Is there still a Million Man March? There's a Million Man March. Just not even Million Man March. There's, you know, Gay Pride. You know, it's a free, you know, all of that, all of those parades, even the political parades where they were outside of the, you know, the building, storm the building. That's a protest. But it's a freedom of speech.
I don't know if that was a protest.
Well,
I think we got shot violent. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you know, in the same sense.
If he was in another country,
what was they protesting?
Because Trump was mad because Trump.
How are you you're protesting a system that they created? So other candidate fairly won. Mm-hmm. You're mad he fairly won. Mm-hmm. So you just.
But the whole gist of the point is it's freedom of speech. You have your right to have freedom of speech. Now,
freedom of speech ain't free.
It's not. But in this circumstance, it kind of is because everybody has it. It just depends on how you use it.
Not really. So like, and one thing he touched on in the stand-up, right? It's like you're literally messing with people's livelihoods and the way they eat because you're offended or you're so consistent on wanting to get your point across or wanting to be like, you guys need to think the way we think or you're wrong, you need to be canceled. Yes. So like you're trying to cancel the baby and it's the way he feeds his family. So what you want is you want to go back to the hood and be selling drugs and killing niggas instead of him just making music because he said something that may have hurt your feelings. It's like, all right, you mad? Give him some criticism. It's like,
that's what it is. Mental illness.
I think they're more offended on the fact that, you know, I mean, granted, that is a great point because, you know, that's how he does feed his family. But I think maybe, and I could be wrong, but I feel like one part is that they don't want to keep hearing him after he said that. So imagine if you don't cancel him, and I don't say that.
They probably forgot all about that.
No, they ain't even forget about that shit.
A lot of people forgot about that shit.
They didn't forget. I mean, they don't talk about it, but they didn't forget.
Man, that nigga still doing shows.
Yeah, because they're not going to cancel him. Because
They're still doing shows.
yeah, they're not going to cancel him.
But to get more into depth of this topic, because there was like a lot of he talks about a certain situation involving somebody that was transgender,
Okay.
and he was talking, yeah, and he was talking that had this person come on stage, open up for him,
Okay.
all that other stuff, looked out for this person, became this person's friend, blase, blase, blah. People was coming at Dave Chappelle on Twitter.
He dropped his last special.
Yeah, all this other goofy shit, and
About what?
about him talking about trans and whatever LGBT community, whatever the case may be, and she came to his defense, and the same community that she's a part of dragged her
for
through the mud.
Dave Chappelle.
It's a blatant contradiction. She's a part of your community, and because she defended somebody because you got offended by it, this person ended up killing themselves not because of what he said, but because the community that she or he identifies with just basically destroyed her. Blatant contradiction.
It's contradiction. So this and to piggyback off of that, this is my problem with the LGBT community. These niggas are literally who they say they're trying to fight against. They're bullies. Mm-hmm. That's what they are. We keep it 100. They are the biggest bullies in this country right now. Because now y'all not just trying to fight for y'all freedom of speech and the freedom to do what you want. It's okay, most of us don't give a fuck. Let's really be honest. I don't care. I have nothing against gay people. I know plenty of them, trans. I don't give a fuck what you want to do. But it's you can't force your thoughts onto other people. It's the same shit we say to people who go to church when Christians force Christianity on other people who don't believe. Yeah. It's you just trying to push
and
this shit.
And what most people do when people keep pushing that, they just ignore it.
They ignore it or they fight back.
Yeah.
So it's so when I have a joke or I don't agree with everything you're saying, it's now, cancel him, he's phobic. And it's that don't make me transphobic. It's just kind of I just don't agree with that. The fact that y'all come out and y'all try to tell us what a woman is, and it's no, can you reproduce? Yeah. It's literally y'all do that. Y'all want to tell us, we're women, y'all don't treat us like women, and blah, blah, blah. It's I get it. You want to identify what you want to identify. But gender is fact. It is. Yep. You can't have a fucking baby. And it's and on the same sense, it's y'all want to be sensitive to y'all, and y'all being insensitive to natural women. Because basically what you're doing is telling them you're no longer just.
You're no longer status quo.
You're no longer I'm taking away from what you are naturally. Because I feel I want to be a woman. Okay. But you was born with a dick.
Yeah. Should make
all
this
no sense to me. It's bro, male or female. That's not it. That's it. It's not bro, I can't come out and be yeah, my skin is black, but I identify as white.
No, you're gonna look crazy.
But that's what they do. It's the fact is I'm black. The fact is you were born. The fact is, like Dave Chappelle said, every human on this earth came from between the legs of a natural woman. Period.
Give or take. Some people got cut out, but
just do it in the body of a woman. Yeah,
there's some politically correct people.
Yeah, but it's not
I'm just shout out to those political.
I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, I just don't, bro. I just think they're hypocrites. And I answer, I was like you, I ain't gonna say I don't support because they deal with a lot. Don't get me wrong. You got black trans women who get killed just for being black trans women.
Absolutely.
But at the same sense, I can't fully support a group of fucking bullies. Y'all literally are doing what you're protesting.
Well, I don't support.
You're protesting being bullied for who you are, but then you bully people to believe what you want them to believe. And if they don't, you say, cancel that person. He should never make money again doing what he loves to do. Yeah. It's bro, y'all literally went and took Kevin Hart over the Grammys or the Oscars.
I think it was
because of some shit he said a decade ago. Mm-hmm. Y'all went back, got some film from a comedy show he said a decade ago, and tried to cancel him for that. So he dropped out of something he wanted to do his entire career, something he even won. And it's like, bro, like, how is that fair?
It's not.
Obviously, he don't think that way now. At the time it happened, it was what, 2020, 2019 when he found that shit out?
Yeah.
It was like, bro, the shit they part of a clip from like a decade ago. So you're making him pay for a thought that he had 10 years ago. You know how much somebody's brain changes in a year, let alone 10? You can't hold me accountable for something I did 10 years ago. I was fucking 19. That's like a fucking kid. Like,
I thought everything was funny.
That's like Mark trying to throw niggas in the slammer for a post that they made 10 years ago. Shit makes 0 sense.
He can do that?
Like, why can't it happened to my man?
He can do that. I didn't know you could do that.
Facebook jail.
I know you go back 10 years.
That's the thing, though, where it really get dangerous, because now it's like a form of control, which is why I'm really not starting to fuck with Facebook like that. Because it's literally you're taking people's freedom of speech away. Mm-hmm. Like, I say something, and then you blocking my page because of what I said. Mm-hmm. And it's like, bro, I can say what the fuck I want. I'm not threatening anybody, or like,
it's just my
I say what I want.
They pick and
I
choose.
say what I want. They definitely pick and choose
what they censor and what they consider hate speech.
Yeah. Now I do agree with you on that. Like me, like I said, I'm not cool with the bullying. Like, I've never been cool with bullying from any, group of people or anything. I just don't do that bullying shit. But I have a question for y'all. Do y'all think the LBG community is starting, not saying they are, but it's just a thought, do you feel like they may be the new black? You know how black people were, like, fighting and stuff like that. Do you feel like the LBG community is starting to become, or feeling like they're going to become?
No, they don't have a pot to piss in when it come to those situations like that. Black folk have what the LGBT community is going through, or whatever they think they're going through. Black people have been going through this shit for 400 years.
So the TFC community, right? They've been dealing with this shit. People just started really coming out of the closet, what? Let's say like the 70s, 80s. If you really want to say like people really like, obviously gay people have been around since the beginning of the time. You can look at ancient Rome.
Yeah, I mean they put it in movies.
Yeah, so you can look at that shit. And, like,
but it was frowned upon
a
lot.
It was so it was like, but people now it's starting to become socially acceptable. Yeah. But people was starting to kind of come out the 80s. Where it really started,
where it's like national,
where it's like a national.
They started putting it in movies more.
Be like, we need to, and they're being treated different.
You know what's crazy?
We've been dealing with that shit for 400 years. It don't even compare. No. Like, it don't even compare. And it's like, y'all haven't been enslaved because y'all was gay. Mm-hmm. Like, you can hide that. I can't hide you. Like, you don't have to come out and tell people that you're gay. We don't give a fuck about your sexual orientation or who you choose to have sex with. That's your business. So it used to be private. Now everybody want to tell everybody. Whatever. I can't hide my black skin. I can't come out the house and throw a bunch of powder on and be like, I'm white.
There's some
contradiction.
There's some contradiction to what you just said too.
Well, I mean, I know what you about to get into.
Yeah,
I already know what you about to.
About people telling you, you can just tell somebody you're gay, or you can tell somebody. They pick and choose when they want to tell people that they're.
I'm saying you have the choice.
Yeah, I know.
We don't have the choice to tell somebody you black. I can't come out the house and be like, you black? Nah, I ain't black.
You sure?
You sure? Okay, like, no. You don't have to, like, if it was like, alright, if they said we're going to lock all the gay people up, all the gay people can come outside and just set them straight.
Yeah. Real shit.
Yeah, real shit. Doing it right now.
He's trolling.
Wait, that was actually
a troll.
Yeah,
that was actually real.
He's talking about he's straight now.
He's not straight.
He's
not straight.
I don't even know why niggas let Lil Nas X piss him off. He literally do it because he know he get other people's skin. Like, he's a troll.
I mean, every industry, has that one troll that comes along and just does, they just define, they just do shit to do it. They know it pisses people off because it's more attention on them.
Yeah, all publicity is good publicity.
And not saying what he's doing. I mean, not saying, not stopping his, his shine, but do what you do. But this is, and the thing, I'm gonna go with both of y'all points, right? Mm-hmm. So you made a point about, there's jokes about black people, right? And
and white people may semi-racist jokes, or that may be offensive to somebody.
They're gay community.
You know the solution to that. I don't watch white comics. There's only certain ones I watch.
Simple.
That's it.
You
I
don't
don't
like
watch.
your stuff. Don't watch it.
And then it's like, to go what he just said, y'all pick and choose. I just saw a Facebook post that was talking about some girl who, you probably saw it, I shared it. She said she had a friend who was a transgender friend. And she had another friend who was a dude who said she was kind of like her brother, and they kind of liked each other.
Okay.
So she checked the friend and said, all right. So like, she gave her an opportunity. You gonna tell him that you're transgender? The friend said no.
That's where I have a problem with.
But my thing is, if you're so prideful and proud, why do you do shit like why are you trying to hide it? But then also with like what also makes it hypocritical is that when you have gay people like the girl Big Bad, for example, she goes exposing niggas for fucking with her. So it's like, do you want respect, or do you want to use your gayness as a weapon to expose other people who may be undercover gay, which I'm not a fan of, but like they may just not be brave enough to just come out the closet.
Right.
But you're gonna use that and embarrass them and let the world laugh at them for being gay. But at the same tone, don't laugh at me for being gay.
Yeah.
Makes zero sense.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Same with transgender. Like, oh, y'all be fucking with trans. I can expose a couple of you niggas. Well, how is that exposure if you just feel like you're a regular woman, but you're gonna expose somebody for fucking with you?
Bro, a lot of
It's like they only use it when it's beneficial. Like that's my problem with that community. Like it's hypocritical. Yeah. Like the hypocrisy is crazy with that shit, bro. And that's why, like, after a while, like I ain't gonna say I'm against it. I just don't support it that much. Cause like, bro, I'm black. I can't be somebody that oppresses somebody. Like I'm the most oppressed person in this fucking country. Like I don't have any power to oppress somebody else. Like, and I can understand what some people go through if you're black and gay. Like I get it, but it's like you can't be that, but then also try to like flip flop. Like we don't use our blackness to be like, but you black. Like you don't see it. A white dude who ain't fucking no white girl, and we say something to her like, but you fuck it. Like it's like, bro, come on. Like,
to piggyback off of what you were saying, a lot of this violence that goes towards the trans community is because of those situations right there.
Yeah,
you're not telling somebody that you're trans, and that person is finding out,
and that's what I do.
And that's where the violence comes from.
Because you should.
You can't play with people's, mental. Like you don't know how that fuck up a person just because that you identify as a woman, dude, lady, whatever the fuck. Doesn't mean that he looks at you like he doesn't think that you're a woman.
Yeah.
You might think that you're a woman, and that's fine. If you think you're a woman in your mind, that's fine. But my thing is, you can't sit there and be like, oh, he thinks I'm a woman, or he's going to be okay. I used to be a guy, or whatever the case may be. You can't think that for that person. You got to tell that person and let them decide whether or not they're going to still fuck with you, or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. So a lot of this violence that y'all over there protesting about, y'all put it on yourselves sometimes. I'm not saying that's always the case.
I was about to say, I don't want to diminish. Like,
I'm not saying that's always the case. But like
it don't always be that. But sometimes
a lot of these cases, it be that.
They do that because, like, bro, I could imagine.
They make movies like that.
Play me like that, bro. I would fuck you up. I ain't gonna kill you. I ain't gonna judge nobody. But I would beat the dog shot of somebody for doing that to me.
But there's some people that be like, yo, I gotta kill this nigga.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
that's my mentality.
Because it's the fear of that news getting, like you said, with the bin bag shit.
Bro, it's not the fear. It's just the
embarrassment.
That's fear.
And then bro, it's just, I don't know.
Especially
if it's the embarrassment, but it's also kind of like I don't know. It's like you kind of challenge my manhood, and then it almost makes me feel like you tricked me into dating a man.
Yeah, like you didn't have a choice.
You didn't give me the choice. Like give people the choice. It's the same thing where like I feel like if you have a disease or if you had a disease, like you shouldn't be having unprotected sex or even protected sex until you let that person know. Like, listen, I have an STI.
It's the same shit.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. And what I said on that post that you shared, these people be so prideful When pride come around, they trans this, trans that, blah blah blah. But then when it comes to telling somebody that you're trying, I don't have to tell nobody.
I don't want to tell them yet.
I mean, if you messing with somebody
And
that's
then
not like
you
that,
like
you
somebody, I
do.
don't want to tell them yet. They might mess it up.
Because they don't, if that
Now,
statement right there should let you know
Open
that.
from the door and you'll find somebody who's cool with what you are.
But that statement right there,
That's what you identify.
that statement right there goes a long
There's
way.
niggas that like that shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
so go be with them.
And for people to say that, you obviously know that person don't swing that way.
Exactly.
And that's the problem. That's the problem I have.
Sense if you tell him and then he fuck you up, he wrong.
Yeah.
Now you're transphobic.
Like her transphobic friend was completely fine with not telling you, but they got mad at her when she told him. I was like, oh, that wasn't your place. Yes, it was, because he's a friend to me.
Yeah.
I gave you. In reality, some people probably feel like she should have told dude from the rip.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're friends with both, it's cool. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt to like be like, you that's y'all business, but you need to tell him. Now, when you say you're not gonna tell him, then I'm going around like, nah, you're not gonna do that to him.
Especially
like,
that
he
you know
needs
that
to know.
he's not like that. And
like,
for you,
you can't. And that's what I'm saying. Some people say like, if she was a friend of him, she would know his sexual preferences. You don't always know that.
No.
We could be around some niggas who be acting super straight and they'll be,
you know what I
being
mean,
doing some
wild
shit.
shit.
Like, but it's like that's their private.
They still,
we can't
still
assume
friends.
that he might be into that, but it's like he still give people the choice.
Yeah.
Right.
Like give people the choice.
Like that was one of my biggest problems with that community is not because you fucking with people's mental.
Yeah, that's what we fuck with somebody.
Like, coming from like a mental health background, you would fuck somebody up for the rest of their life over some shit like that.
Yeah, because you have them questioning herself, and that is a serious topic. And
it's just like, bro, and not to say it's like as egregious, but it's just like when niggas go to jail and they get raped.
Mm-hmm.
They mental never gonna be the same again. Like you literally, like that's why they do it in jail. Like you literally took my manhood from me, right? And that's what that feels like to certain people. Which is why certain niggas may snap and be like, I'm gonna kill this bitch. Like, she gotta die. Because what the fuck? Because I just give people the choice.
Yeah. That's real.
And it's like, and if you're so prideful, why are you hiding it? You only prideful when it's convenient to you. I'm black every fucking day.
Yeah.
I'm black to the point where it might make some white people unfucking comfortable. I know people I was cool with in high school, they deleted me on Facebook because of how black I am. And I'm preaching. I don't fuck with white people. Cool with some of them? To an extent. But I can't, I am who I am every day. Am I gonna go out and kill a white person? No. Do I hate him to the point where I'm like, man, fuck white people? No. I just have a prejudice because of what we've been through in this country because of white people.
That's strong.
So it's like you can't be part-time gay. Like it's like you're trying to be prideful when it's convenient, and then it's like, what are you getting out of saying let's cancel Dave Chappelle? What do you get? Money?
No,
because he's already expressed that he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
it's like, what do you
that
think
man made his millions. So by you,
he got his money. He can care less.
Because at the end of the day, like you said, they're still gonna listen.
And like you
said, see him.
Most people don't usually watch the entire specials. If you watch the entire special, he literally says like, I have no problem with it.
They don't hear that.
He said I have problems with the way. He said I agree with what they're fighting for. The way they go about it, I think is stupid.
Yeah.
But it's a comedy show. Comedians take serious things
and turn them
and make them funny.
That's why you leave that shit at the door when you come into a comedy show. Because you're going there to laugh and have a good debate. Look, not to cut you off, the main thing, ladies and gentlemen, about comedy shows, shout out because I'm going to one tomorrow. You're going there to laugh at yourself. Black, white, gay, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. You're going there to laugh at yourself because not saying your situations are funny, but you can't take yourself too serious all the time.
When they make jokes, jokes usually have some truth to it.
That's why people get mad.
Like,
Because there's some truth.
Like some niggas make it offensive for a white person like a fried chicken joke. Me, no.
I don't give a fuck.
Niggas we love fried chicken.
Yeah. What it is. What it is. That's some facts. I'll be in the crowd laughing. I was like, that's some facts.
A couple years ago, went to a comedy show when I was on a cruise. I opened up the show. It was like, listen, I tell offensive jokes. I talk about everybody. I don't care, black, white, Chinese, Hispanic, whatever the case may be. If you're a person that gets offended easily, leave now.
Leave. Get the fuck out.
He was like, leave now.
But
there's nobody left, and everybody enjoyed the show, and that's what comedy is supposed to be.
Laugh at yourself, have a good time,
and that's what that chick was doing. That trans chick that he was talking about, she was able to identify what was going on, laugh at herself, and know that this person isn't who y'all trying to make him out to be. And then that community turned on her.
And then you know what he said at the end? She said, just recognize that I'm human.
Right.
And that's what he said in his comedy special.
Yeah.
He said, I want to make another joke. Just stop punching down on my people and recognize that we're all human.
Absolutely.
So the message in it is like, I really don't hate y'all at all.
No.
We're all human. Yeah. They're jokes. But it's like, they gotta start looking in the mirror and being like we're starting to become a part of the problem.
Yeah.
Literally. Like I cannot support somebody who try to oppress other people when you've been oppressed. It don't make sense.
It does not make sense.
You can't be you can't be fighting against being bullied and then start bullying people.
That's that house nigga syndrome.
Do the LBG community have, you know, like how the black community had the NAACP, they have like people to represent or speak. Do the LBG
they don't even know do much.
That's what I'm saying. When they compare their plight to the black plight, they're already getting more benefits than we got. They done got laws written for them. They got there's rules in every job you go to written for no discrimination against them. It's like there's a lot of shit they get. They get a whole fucking day. Keep adding shit. Like it's like, and then anytime somebody say something offensive about them, all of these businesses, look how fast all of them fucking Rolling Loud took the baby off of mad concerts and fucking festivals because of that. Because the LGBT,
and a lot of people,
because that community wanted them canceled.
And a lot of people
that don't happen. Let a bunch of black people say, we want this nigga canceled. Nope. It don't fucking happen.
And a lot of people
they give us Black Lives Matter helmets.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand, to piggyback off you, like those concerts like Rolling Loud, that's how majority of artists make their money. They don't make their money off of record sales. You know what I'm saying? They make their money when they go on tour and they're getting like 50, 60 to 100K a show. You know, so when you cancel, like literally, like look at R. Kelly shit, and not even saying I support what R. Kelly do, but look at my man is negative a couple million because while he every like when you go on a 50-day like tour, they're getting paid every day for each different venue.
Not only that, like so if I get paid, so somebody like R. Kelly probably getting paid over 100,000,
over 100, 150
because of how big he is, right? But he not getting 100,000.
No, he got
to break it down to his managers. He got to break it down to his agent. He got to break it down to that venue. He got to pay the venue, but then he also got to pay taxes. So in reality, that 100,000 go down. At his level, he getting taxed at 40%. That 100,000, he probably make
80, 60, maybe 60.
That 50, probably make half of it. Yeah.
So
half of it. So it's like, and then you gotta remember, like when you look at streams, unless you use a title, they getting paid like 0.00001% per stream.
Yeah.
So if I got 1 million streams, you times that by that number, and it's probably not even $1,000. So it's like they make their money on shows. So when you cancel somebody because you didn't agree with what he said, you're literally taking his livelihood from him.
Taking a couple 100,000.
Like, how would you like if somebody came to your job and just said, I didn't agree with what you said, y'all should fire him. And they did. And now you can't pay your bills, you ain't got nowhere to live, you can't take care of your family, all because you did something that was offensive to them. That's it.
I mean,
you didn't agree with.
I mean, I like that shit when it happens to certain people when they talk racist shit, they get fired. So, I mean, it's a two-edged sword.
I mean, could you sit there and say
but that's the difference though. Like, they usually say racist shit and it's negative towards black people. Like, it's literally like, damn, you said that after we dealt with 400 years of slavery and Jim Crow laws and still dealing with systemic racism, like mass incarceration. It's so many examples of like why you shouldn't be saying that. Only thing they got is we just don't agree with y'all being gay. Well, he didn't even say that. He just said, basically saying, who not gay in here, make some noise.
And people took offense.
That's like me going there and saying, who not white in here, make some noise. They still gonna make noise. They still gonna make noise. We ain't white tonight. They be out there saying nigga in the crowd.
Yeah, they do.
If you put that song, come on. Look, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. When you in a concert, I know there's white people that say nigga when the song come on. I ain't hearing it. When it's loud, can nobody hear him? You know you're skipping that word. I probably may know a few white people that don't say that. That don't say that word. They say it. I'm telling you, if they listen to music, they say it. There's no way. Those be some of the best parts of the song.
Yeah. And honestly, honestly,
I swear to God, bro. Like,
honestly, if you like the song so much and you know it word for word, you'll say it like subconsciously. You'll say it without even thinking about it.
Because you just know the words.
Yeah.
So now, like, every time you listen to that song, you skipping that word.
No.
It definitely, if you're a white person that listens to hip hop, the word come up so much in songs that there's no way you're not saying it.
Yeah.
Unless you just listen to the instrumental. Like, that's the only way you might go here, nigga.
And to me, I'm honestly like, I'm one of those people where it's like, you can't even offend me with that word at this point. You gotta get more creative.
I mean, you say nigger.
I don't think there's a difference. I hate people that say there's a difference. There's nigger. Either way,
do you feel like it's a difference in the way you like present it?
It just feels more racist.
Context.
It just feels more racist.
When you say nigger, I think it's context. For me, like if you, but see, I'm big on like that kind of stuff. Is like call me a nigger. Who? That's not new.
Yeah, I heard
that's like. But if you find a creative way to be racist with me, that'll piss me off. Like you insult my intelligence. That's the type of shit that'll piss me off.
That's how you get your ass beat.
That's the type of shit. Like, you sure you know what you're doing? Like, you sure you know what 8 times 8 is?
Yeah.
I don't know what 8 times 8 is. So I'm like, that's the type of shit that piss me off. But calling me a nigger is like, bro. We done took power, bro. That's why I'm like, we done took the power from the word.
Yeah. Because it don't
I think one of the really shit, bro, some of our like ancestors used to say, is like, how can we? It's kind of like disrespectful to our ancestors that we use the word so much.
And people don't
care
care
about it. Derogatory word. Using, we can say we took power. You subconsciously disrespecting yourself every time you say it.
Yeah.
Which is like, I understand that side of it too, because if you somebody who's older and you was still kind of like dealing on the end of slavery and dealing with the Jim Crow laws and dealing with the segregation, like they didn't use that word.
Shout out to my grandparents. Shout out to them people.
I don't know, man. It just depends on who you was dealing with. There's some of them old heads that was calling each other niggas back then.
They still call each other niggas.
Yeah.
I work with some people that still.
I'm sorry. It's just such a part of my vocabulary. I will say this. I don't use it as much as I used to, but I still use it.
He said shit.
I don't use it as much as I used to.
Full sense.
He called me a nigga during the text message today.
Yeah.
He was like, this nigga.
Yeah, man. All them text messages, how many times did that word come up? It comes up,
here and there.
But,
no, we playing the game.
Yeah, well, that's different.
Yeah,
all type of emotions come out when.
Bro, I mean, much time I want to break it down.
Bro, I'm everything when I'm playing the game. I'm racist. I'm sexist. I'm transphobe. I'm whatever when I'm playing that game. Because the game be cheating.
I be wanting to break this man TV.
The game be cheating. And it know it be cheating. And it brings out another level of anger out of
That sounds like 2K.
He said something.
That's like when we was facing this nigga was getting mad.
Bro, I was back, bro. Yeah.
Bro, you be wanting to break shit. Like,
No, I have.
he said, no,
I have.
He said company. No, I have. Real rap.
So it's like, you don't even do that in real life.
But they be real facts. They don't. Don't be, look, when you see a nigga that's shooting a three, and I said it then, when you see somebody that's shooting a 3-pointer that don't shoot 3-pointers in real life, that's a different kind of anger.
Bro.
That's a different kind of anger.
I remember I was
That's like
playing,
the white shooting a 3-pointer.
I was playing
3 in a row.
Playing 2K
Different
one
kind of
time.
anger.
The nigga had a wide open layup, airballed it. Bro, I turned the game off.
Yeah, absolutely.
I turned the game
Absolutely.
off. I'm like, come on, you're not gonna do that to me, yo.
Bro, I'm not playing the game for a week. After that it's on a week punishment after doing some bullshit like that.
I did that plenty of times.
To turn the game, I ain't playing for a week. I'll talk to the game and everything.
Bro, that shit ain't. I don't feel like it was like that when I was a kid.
It
Nah,
wasn't.
It wasn't that frustrating.
Nah, cause
They were, but not. I just think that now that you're more adult and you deal with
You have to be so mad.
Nah.
It don't even therapy sometimes. I used to use my game to kind of like.
yeah,
the game's supposed to be therapy, but then sometimes it stresses you out.
the game
Like,
don't bring you peace all the time.
Yo,
It don't.
It really
The
don't,
game makes you even more angrier before you came on the
I say
motherfucker.
it do when it's doing what it's supposed to. When the shit
And
cheating,
how
then that's
how many times is it doing what it's supposed to do?
Occasionally.
Occasionally.
But it's that one
Majority
bad
of the time
day
you do what it's
do
supposed
shit
to
and
do.
don't do it.
Now some days it just be like, all right, bro, I'm about to. You know what?
I'm about to cheat.
I'm about to install this shit.
Bro, the fucking Xbox be tweaking all the time. You know the freaking pain when you've been playing the game for 45 minutes and the shit just cut off.
We're not talking about that.
The shit just
We're not going to talk
the
about
shit-
that.
I'm sorry, but that shit just pissed me off. Yeah, but
They looking at us. I thought we was talking about Chappelle.
Hey, listen, it all correlates in the same thing. You just gotta look at it in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, look. I mean, even with the
Everybody relating 2K pistol. I don't think you played this shit twice.
but like what you said, even the situation with the Chappelle and the LBG community, you gotta look at it for both sides, you know. And like I said, I get what the LBG community is feeling. I'm not saying what they feeling because
I don't get what they feeling.
No, not what they feeling, but I get what.
Not in this situation.
No, not in this situation, but I get how they could be offended. But on the flip side,
Bro, and that's the thing. I'm not saying I don't understand.
yeah.
It's just when you constantly bully people to believe
What you're saying.
what you want them to believe in. Like,
That's what I don't agree
You know
with.
the most frustrating thing I had ever watched? When the Breakfast Club had brought on like 3 or 4 people from the LGBT community.
Mm-hmm.
And like they was literally asking, like Charlamagne was literally asking them questions, trying to understand like how do you want to be referred to, how do you identify this and the third, and like the entire time through the interview, while Charlamagne is just trying to understand and listen. When he did say certain stuff, they were just trying to be condescending. Oh no, cisgender. Like it was just mad little shit that I was like, why are you doing that? Like I get it, you wanna be identified.
They came on
how
their
you
own
want.
bullshit, probably.
And that's my thing. Is like you come over there, are you here for attention?
Yeah.
Are you here to get go
Are
viral?
you
And it's like
really to, like,
he's really
get
trying to
down
have a
to
real
the
conversation with you and understand. Like we want to understand your plight, and then we want to understand like how would you like to be referred to? Like which is cool. If you want to be referred to as her, he, I don't care. Like I don't give a fuck.
No.
Me personally, but it's
I'm just
like
not gonna do
when
it.
I'm trying to understand. When I'm trying to understand and really trying to have a conversation with you,
Yeah.
but you keep trying to throw little jabs and correcting me every time
I'm not gonna want to have a conversation no more.
Exactly. Now I'm gonna be like,
Now
you
the
know,
conversation's done. I'm
fuck
gonna just
it,
say fuck it,
bro.
You be like,
gotta
all
get
right,
it, like,
you just gonna be
But-
mad.
I'm just real, like, fuck it, you gotta get it.
I'm gonna say this.
Like,
You got it.
Regardless of
Okay.
however
You
you
got
choose.
If God gave you a dick, be happy with it, get over it. Like,
Interview over.
Listen,
that's why I couldn't be famous, because I was like, bro.
he be canceled, quote unquote. But
That
I
nigga.
couldn't be, as soon as I got famous.
Nah,
I was
Zuckerberg gonna block.
bro, my thing is this: like, regardless of however you
First
choose
interview,
to
I don't really
identify,
fuck, yeah.
that's on you. If you choose to, if you're want to be a man or you want to be a woman,
Yeah.
however you look at yourself as, that's cool. I don't have to do that. I don't have to
That's
sit
my
there and
thing.
acknowledge you as whatever you sit there and say, how can they lie
That's
you?
fair.
How I look at you.
And that's fair to
as,
say.
Like to me, like I just feel like I'm technically by definition, and what my wife told me, I'm homophobic. I know plenty of gay people that don't bother me at all, and I really don't care.
Your wife said that you're homophobic?
She called me homophobic.
Oh, shit.
Called me homophobic. Because of certain shit I'm not really like
Cool with.
yeah, I'm just not doing it. I'm just, shit,
But
that's
that's
my butt.
the
That
thing.
makes me uncomfortable.
But this
It's like
is the
could
thing.
we equate that to
Just because
being
somebody,
gay? Like,
just because someone doesn't agree with your lifestyle, just because someone doesn't
but the
want to
definition
identify with whatever you want to identify with, doesn't mean that person hates you. It doesn't mean that person doesn't like they just don't care. Either they just don't care or they just.
I don't think why like people use the word phobia and shit. That's why I was like, I don't care enough to be phobic from you. I don't care. Like, because in reality, like, if you're gay, you're gay.
If you really,
I'm not gonna treat you no different. I'm like, I don't care. Like, that's what you want to do sexually. Like, I don't care about that. That's your business.
Yeah. If you,
it's like,
you gotta be a piece of shit for a different reason for me to not fuck with you.
Yeah.
facts.
Like, I don't feel like that. And that's the one thing is
You
like,
could be a piece of shit and you could be straight. You could be a piece of shit and be gay. You could be a piece of shit and identify however you want to identify. That's it. Like all that other stuff that you do, that's not the issue. The issue is whether you're a piece of shit or not, and whether I want to fuck with you because you're a piece of shit.
And not to say that there's people out there who don't care. Like, there's people out there that care
Right.
and really want to hurt that community because of their sexual orientation.
Right.
I understand that. The issue is y'all push this shit on most of the people who really don't. Like, we really, most of us really don't care what y'all doing.
yeah, like we fuck with y'all, we just don't care about the
now,
extra shit.
Lil Boosie, he cared because he gay too.
You think he? Wait, I couldn't even get the question. That threw me off, bro. I wasn't expecting that. Like literally just calm as hell. Like he was
Honestly, them the people that you gotta be mad about.
Those people you gotta be mad about. But like, those are the people who like make me uncomfortable. Like, if you a straight, if you identify as straight, heterosexual male, but you constantly mad about or worried about what gay people are doing, I'm like, I just be like,
that's kind of weird.
Well, you're not mad at them. You're mad at yourself.
Exactly. So that's how I don't know Boosie gay. I don't fuck about that. I'm telling you.
Bad.
And they the worst kind. Them undercovers, they the worst kind. Them niggas that be bashing the gay people, but they be gay.
They worse than an undercover cop, yeah. Word up.
You ain't no cop, Jay Reed.
Jay Reed. Shout out to that. That's a real. I'm about to watch that shit. Real rap. Shout out to Todd Smith, yo. He's my man, yo. It's my dog.
I think the big piece
Shout
of
out
shit.
to Omar.
Like I had a situation where dude was locked up on my unit, whatever. Dude was transgender, whatever.
Shout out to the trap.
Wanted to identify himself as a woman, whatever the case may be. I'm looking at your name. Your name is a male name. He wants to be called some feminine name, whatever the case may be. I'm like, listen, whatever you want to be, that's on you. I don't got to do anything. I don't got to call you. I got to call you what this paper say your name is. So whatever shit that you want to identify with, that's on you.
See, shit like that, I don't 100% agree with. Because that's like you saying, your name is Javon, but you want people to be calling you Chris because you don't like your first name. And I'm blatant, like, I don't really like to call Javon, just call me Chris. I'm like, fuck that. I'm calling you Javon. To me, I'm like, well, now you're being disrespectful. Like, I nicely asked you, I want to be referred to as that way. Yeah. I don't mind shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't mind shit like that. Like, I don't care. We know he's a man. He's born a man. But you want to call yourself she and
that's cool.
Name Amber. Cool. Like, I'll call you Amber. Like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm named Bruce. I'm called Bruce.
Hey, yo, this is B. B, yo, like, they are
my reason of it is not because I didn't care about what he wanted to identify. I'm just like, bro, I just don't. I don't just look at you like that. Like, I look at you as a dude. Regardless of how you feel like you are, I look at you as a dude. So, and the thing is, if you, like I said earlier, if you believe whatever you believe that you are, then that's fine. If other people don't believe that that's what you are, that's what you identify, who cares?
Yeah.
As long as you're happy and you're living your life.
That's the part that like, people are not understanding.
That's the part. Yeah, that's the part that people are not understanding.
It's like if you're happy with that,
everyone's not going to agree. My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. Everyone's not going to agree with whatever your lifestyle choices are, or whatever the case may be. Like me, I street race. Some people don't like that I street race because it puts my safety in jeopardy.
That's all you hear when this nigga be driving.
But and I get it, and I choose like there's people that and I can choose whether or not like I respond to it a certain way. I'll be like, listen, you might care for my safety, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And that's how I look at it as. I don't look at it as just because you have an issue with what I do that you hate me or you just have your best interests at heart, whatever the case may be. I get all that, but like no one's gonna be like, oh, I don't want to fuck with you because this is your lifestyle or whatever the case may be. That's not the case. It is the case with some people, but everyone don't think that way.
Everybody don't think that way, but in reality, like you naturally deal with people whose lifestyle kind of correlates with yours.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's gonna be some chance that we be cool anyway. Like not saying we won't be cool, but there's gonna be some chance we won't be around each other that much.
Your path's not gonna really
because
cross as
we
much.
are into different things.
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean we don't have mutual respect, and I don't respect.
Like you wouldn't go into a gay bar.
No.
So you
what? I have no reason to be there.
No, that's what I'm saying. With your paths never cross, like
yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
Not saying all y'all go just to those type of bars. Y'all go to plenty bars. It's just for an example, don't want to ruffle no feathers, but I do get what you're saying. Like you don't share the same interests.
And the reason, and I even talk about experience. I went years ago. I went out with my mom. It was like for somebody, one of her friends' birthday. My mom's a lot of gay friends. Me and my wife went out with them. I asked my mom, I'm like, yo, before we go out, I'm like, we ain't going to a gay bar, gay club or nothing, are we? It's like, no, this is a regular club. My mom just don't pay attention. We get in the club, it's a gay fucking club. So now I'm uncomfortable as fuck. Now, like I said, gay people don't bother me. But when you're in a club full of gay people, it's almost like that you're here because
you're gay.
Yeah. If I'm in that environment now, it's like you're here because you're gay. So now my fear is like one of these niggas gonna approach me. I'm gonna get mad. so like the whole time I'm on wifey like this. You walk around.
It's like no,
some of these these gay people are like how some of these other people be with rejection.
But see, it's not even rejection. Like men,
I said rejection.
Oh, rejection.
Like you sit there and like you like like they try to talk to you like, oh bro, I don't swing that way. Why are you here? Blah blah blah. Now those two.
But it's like men naturally are predatorial like that.
Mm.
So it's like just like niggas being around the clubs and holler at women and get mad when she say no. Like, fuck you in here for? Like,
to me, I think that's weird too. It's like, bro, take the no. It's like take the no, bro. That's weird.
I'm saying so men are predatorial and some men are aggressive. So like that's if I'm in a gay club, I know it's gonna be uncomfortable. You coming all up on me trying to talk to me and it's like, bro, and I don't really swing that way. It's like now it's like I'm one of these undercovers in this gay club trying to be disrespectful to them and look down on them and act like nah, that's what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't be in the environment because like I'm gonna be uncomfortable, but I also don't want to be disrespectful or make other people feel uncomfortable. Like,
yeah, right.
Because it's almost like, why would I come in your world if I know? Like, it's almost like I don't play soccer, so why would I go on the soccer field? I don't play soccer.
That's true.
I wasn't good at soccer.
I was the goalie. Right. Matter of fact, I was pretty good.
Yeah,
I was pretty good.
I was last soccer.
I have enough cardio.
So I played goalie. I ain't moving.
Soccer was nothing but running, boy. No, so like that's just like he said, just do what you want. Just be happy, do what you want. Who cares what other people think? And stop trying to force. It's the same thing with Christianity. Stop trying to force your beliefs on other people.
Yeah, because other people came up in whole different types. Some people might, believe in Buddhism or Muslim, and all the other shit. So who are you to tell them?
1,000 religions.
Yeah, who are you to tell them that their religion that they grew up their whole life is wrong?
And all of them talking about they praise God.
Yeah.
What are we arguing about?
Really nothing.
That's bro. That's the
we're arguing about freedom of
speech. There has to
speech.
be conflict with humans, so it's like
It's just the nature of business.
Don't be that serious, bro.
Doesn't.
But y'all not gonna bully me. I'm gonna say what the fuck I want, how I want.
Always. So I'm closing. Nobody hates y'all. Well, I can't say nobody, but we don't hate y'all.
Yeah, we don't.
I don't hate y'all.
And
Like I said, I have friends. I have friends in that community.
we don't hate y'all like us on this couch. We don't hate
No,
y'all.
absolutely not.
We respect whatever sexual preference, whatever y'all want to call yourself.
I do hate that bullying shit.
That's the shit I
don't like that. That
shit y'all do.
I hate some of the wild shit y'all be saying.
Yeah, but I hate some of the shit niggas do.
If you're like saying some shit like, oh, if you don't date,
so
if you don't date trans men or trans women, then you're transphobic. That is the most.
I'm not even going to comment on that. I'm just not going to comment on that.
Come on, bro. Like, you can't. Like, y'all not even gonna get that off.
That's the type of shit I be saying.
Yeah,
like what? Like I don't date white women. Am I racist?
No.
Yes, I am.
Oh.
But that's not the point. somebody else may not be racist. somebody else may not be racist. They just don't date white women. Just like I don't get offended if a white boy says I don't date black women. He just
that's
like
your
people
preference.
have their preferences. Like people get offended like, well, you just don't. I was like, just no. Like, it's not my thing.
You just don't get jiggy with that
if
shit.
If a white chick sit there telling you I don't date black guys, you can't take it as you're racist.
No,
this is not what she is.
That's how some people take it. It's like if you don't date trans women, you transphobic. Fuck it, I'm transphobic. Then if that's the definition of it, it's like.
But it's like, why would you date a transgender woman?
It's so vague that they can use it for anything. It's a vague definition.
But the main thing is, if you're not if you're not into like transgender women, why would you even think, like that shit? That's silly.
But see, to them, you're transphobic for having a preference.
That's silly shit.
Because in their mind,
that's silly
that trans
shit.
women or trans men or it's a woman or a man or whatever the case may be. So,
and that goes to where you pretty much you're minimizing a natural woman, like a woman who was just born a woman. Because you wanted to, transform yourself, do the surgery, whatever you want to do, and now you identify as a woman, you feel like you should be saw in the same regard as someone who was just born that way.
No, because you can't bear a child. You don't have you don't have menstrual cycle. You don't have that. So you're not 100%
It's like Dave Chappelle. Like Dave Chappelle said, sometimes you just want to have a regular burger. You want to eat a regular, but you don't want the impossible because it's not the same thing as a regular burger.
And that was the statement of while I think I saw a Facebook meme that recorded that statement and basically said he was transphobic for that one statement. That was the only thing he probably said that was kind of like, all right, I get it. But it's like, it's a fucking joke. Like,
about a fucking burger. Like, he's like,
I mean,
I know what it's about. But he made it. He put it in such a safe context to try not to offend people.
He didn't use the word burger. He was pussy. He said impossible pussy.
That shit happened. So he's like, I don't know. The context like pussy, but it's a little bit different. Oh man, that shit, you fucking died.
That joke, I bet you we had, people from the community on that couch, that joke wouldn't offend them. It wouldn't offend them.
That's nothing too. Like, I know gay people who don't really be offended by a lot of shit.
Because it all based on how
even them sometimes feel like they be doing too much.
Yeah, because like I said before, it's all based on what your stomach can take. Like if you are over the top sensitive ass person, every little thing is gonna. Well, why you don't like that? It's like because it's not my preference, dog. Yeah, I'm a straight man. I love women. Just because I don't, I'm not
there's
a transgender person, that
that
doesn't make me a homophobe.
There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just can't take a joke. There's people that just naturally just And that's just all across all walks of life.
And that's coming from people that sit on this couch and crack jokes all day.
Yeah, that's all I do is crack jokes.
That's it, bro. I don't take shit that serious, bro. I don't take myself that serious. I'm a very insensitive person. So I know some people probably don't like it.
So some of that shit is not even really stemming from people feeling that people are transphobic or whatever. They just can't take a fucking joke.
And because it relates to them, because they identify that, they feel like, oh, you're attacking me.
It's easier to sit there.
They probably didn't watch none of the rest of the comedy special. They just heard that shit.
It's easier to sit there and say, this offend me, and you're this and you're that, than sit there and say, I can't take a joke. Okay. It's easier to do that than sit there and say, it's easier to put the blame on something else than sit there and say something's wrong with me.
Which goes back to my point. That's why I don't watch white comedians. One, they bore me. But if they say something, I'm be like, all right,
Gary Owen's funny.
That's my boy.
Gary Owen's funny as fuck. That's my shout out to Gary Owen. That's my dude. Gary Owen's funny.
He don't do racial comedy.
Well, not to the point.
Black wife. I mean, he do racial. Obviously, he says stuff.
Yeah.
But it's relatable. He has a black wife, so I get it.
And he literally quotes that he's white.
Like super over the edge offensive.
And he literally quotes like he a white boy. He literally quotes. He said, "My wife has better credit than me." And the stereotype is black people have terrible credit. But he said, my wife helped me.
Like, that joke may be offensive to some people. So maybe shit true. He wasn't taught financial literacy.
No, it wasn't. That's obviously funny because the silly shit niggas spend money on.
Literally laughing at our pain. For real. It's funny because it's got truth to it. Like,
yeah. Now some people could take offense to it, but it's all that means is there's truth behind it.
It was just like fucking when Azalea Banks dumbass went on fucking Wild Out. Why did you go on there?
I can't stand
that's what they do. Just crack jokes.
They and this is the crazy thing. That even Nick Cannon, and we're going off topic, but it's the same shit. Even Nick Cannon said when he did an interview about that, he was like, "We let every guest, even though you watch the TV show, we let every guest know this is not scripted. This is real jokes. You can't be in your feelings coming on here because they gon', they crack jokes.
Yeah, they want to get the guests. That's the point of the show. If you want to get the guests,
they want the guests to make fun of themselves.
You want to be a guest on a show that makes jokes, and then get mad when the person
about celebrity
makes jokes.
That's what I'm like.
Like you can't be a tough guy on that type of show like that.
That's mental illness.
That's my thing. Like you go in here knowing you can't take a joke, but you gonna watch a comedy special, knowing that they just might make a joke.
Yeah.
About your community.
That's like being the only black guy in a white comedy special. Like they're gonna make a black joke. They are. So if you're the only black guy in a white comedy special, that joke's coming. In your mind when you bought that ticket, they're gonna make that joke, and you're gonna have to stomach that.
The same thing that when white people go to see these black comics.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of black people.
And if you sit in the front row, they're gonna see you.
Because I went to the comedy show.
They're gonna point you because when has there ever been a comedian that didn't see a different race in the crowd and didn't point them out? D.L. Hughley is famous for that. He does that. When you go to his comedy shows, you getting bombed on. It don't matter what color you are. If you got big ass eyes, you getting bombed on it. If shit fucked up, you getting bombed on.
I was at a comedy show, and the dude was like, "Where all the white people at?" White people sitting there making the noise. He was like, "I got a question for y'all. Why y'all be kissing dogs in the mouth?"
Because it's facts, they do. Like, there's people that.
And they laughed.
Because they know they do.
One of them was fucking crying. And
they just be like, oh, wow.
And then one of the white people was like, "Listen, I might be white, but that's that white people shit." Listen,
but that's like, it's jokes, man.
This is jokes, man. Learn
they make fun of the Ku Klux Klan in comedy shows, and white people being there rolling because they know the shit's funny. They know it's some silly shit.
Dave Chappelle did a whole thing about that.
Yeah.
Clayton Bigsby.
Yeah. Had a whole show based off of the shit he does his comedy for. And guess what? There were white people in the crowd laughing at that shit.
Well, and really, as much as Dave Chappelle talk about the plight of black people, how much he talk about white people, most of his shows the majority white.
Yeah. Because white people love to hear about themselves. They want to hear that shit. It sounds weird. It sounds crazy. But people want to hear. They want to hear people's opinion on different shit. Like me, I love to hear a person's opinion on shit because I have my own opinion. You know, I will never get mad at a person for having their own opinion. Because we could agree to disagree. That don't mean I hate you.
And that's the thing, like, people don't want to do these days. Nobody want to disagree. That's why I don't even fucking.
I'm right. It's I'm right. You're wrong. Deal with it.
And basically, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like that's basically what it is. Shut the fuck up. That's basically what it is. And that's wrong. You can't. Because that's like that's one sided.
And at the end of the day, the comedy special was just we're all human at the end of the day. Like that's it.
And you know what's crazy? There are gay comics that make jokes about black people and white people. And you don't see black people. And there are probably gay white comics that make jokes about black people. And you don't see nobody getting offended. You wanna know why? Because it's a joke. It's a joke. Like nobody's sitting there saying what y'all doing, you know, in y'all personal lives is bad because that's your own prerogative. But in the same sense, it's a joke. Like just how I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of, you know, people from that community that crack jokes in themselves about, you know, the shit that they do. But it's not okay for somebody else to say it.
But it's okay for y'all to then go and make a black joke.
Or y'all,
But you know why I want to complain? Because that gay white dude, we don't fucking watch him.
There it is. Why?
Because I don't care to hear what he got to say.
and it comes down to that's your prerogative. That's your thing.
He's not gonna say nothing funny. He might say something that might piss me off. I'm like,
but this is the crazy part.
It's just like the crazy part. It's just like a certain, like let's do a certain artist.
Bro, and contrary to popular belief, bro, everybody is prejudiced. Whether you want to admit it or not, everybody has prejudice.
Because everybody makes racist jokes. Everybody, and you sit there and say you don't make an offensive or racist joke, you lying to yourself. Because everybody has been in groups.
Like you said, to white or black, to Asians, to Mexicans.
Yeah.
Like you said, everyone's prejudiced. How many times have you sit there and said white people shit? All the time. Doesn't mean that we hate white people.
How many times people be like, only niggas that do this?
Yeah. You say that.
Oh, yeah,
this that biggest shit.
All the time.
Every time I scroll through Facebook.
Yeah. You be like, look at this shit.
I wake up every day to some nigga shit.
We don't take shit serious, though. Everything's a damn joke.
No, I laugh at that shit. I'm like, look at this shit.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we're professionals at that. It's just when you ask the community to do it, now it's too much. Let's cancel that person. The only time we get in an uproar when like somebody super crossed the line.
Yeah. Like killing somebody. You know.
Like Kanye West saying slavery was a choice. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, he was wild. I don't know why people in TMZ even let him still be in the building and talk about Kanye leave. And that's my boy. I fuck with Kanye.
I understood what he was trying to get at, but the way he came off and how he said it, this wasn't.
I understand that one bit.
Basically, he was saying that slavery was a choice because nobody, revolted against it or.
It's false. That's why I understand it.
Well, yeah, well, not as a major group. Nobody really. There was revolts.
It's false. That's false. It's got killed. That's false.
Yeah, like they had people had guns
revolting against slavery. How do you think a lot of people got out and got up to the north because they had a whole fucking revolution where people would come back and get slaves to get them out, and would have guns and fight slave owners. That's why I thought that shit was stupid when he said it. It was an ignorant statement, which he ended up admitting he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about.
No.
And it's like you can't take a plight that we went through and still deal with the residue of and try to minimize it by saying we chose to be slaves. That just where it didn't make sense because it's like you're not giving context. To say none of us fault is false.
All right.
So it's like shit. We watch movies where they see slaves trying to run off and got killed or whipped. So it's like you can't say we all just sat there and chose to be slaves.
Yeah, there's slaves that jumped off the ships because they didn't want to be, they want to be in bondage.
Yeah.
They'd rather die in the sea.
Fuck that.
Now you dying in the sea, bro. I'm gonna wait till I get on land and we gonna make a run for it. I'm gonna be like, yo, grip my rope. When we get off this boat, you better run in zigzags.
That take a lot here to drown yourself.
Yeah.
But not to keep getting on topic, but want to thank our mans, Dave Rich coming through again.
Shout out to In the Zone, man. Santos.
Yeah, make sure y'all check it out
again, man.
In the Zone podcast. I will leave a link in the description
Yes,
for the YouTube page. Make sure y'all All the stuff y'all do for our shit, make sure y'all do for them.
Definitely.
Shout out to Santos, all that good shit. My boy. My boy.
It's the wild boy himself.
Lounge, boy, the lounge.
Yeah, man, that lounge go up, man. Y'all have no idea.
I don't know. I'm gonna know soon, though.
Yeah, if you know, you know. But if you don't, you gonna know soon.
Y'all don't want to know. Y'all don't want to know.
Man.
Filthy vibes.
Super filthy. Disgusting.
No, I ain't saying nothing, man. I ain't saying
man,
nothing.
y'all already know
Nothing.
what to do, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Shits.
Hit the notification bell. You know, it gives you the notifications when the video drop. All that good shit. Follow the Facebook, Instagram page at Late Logic.
And definitely go support, well, not because you are, bro, but definitely go support the page, man. Definitely the Instagram page. Go push them follows, go likes, go push. Keep pushing, keep clicking. Support your boys.
Comment.
Yes, let us know what you need us to do more. Let us know that you need us to do less.
Tell us what y'all hated about this episode. I know it's coming.
Oh, yeah. I love the hate mail.
Comes to me from the show.
He said, I'm coming back.
I'm bringing that nigga back. Racist, he's transphobic, homophobic.
I don't like him. I don't like this stuff. Bacon is good for me.
Okay, cancel.
Shout out to King Kurt. It's my man.
Y'all can't cancel us because it's our show. So. Plus, we not that famous yet. So
Speak for yourself. I'm famous.
we ain't that famous yet.
When I get famous, I ain't gonna last long.
Yeah.
I'm famous. I'm speaking it to existence.
They gonna pull this shit up 10 years later.
And guess what? We can run it back and talk about it. We gonna talk about it.
First few interviews, I'm like, y'all don't even fuck with white people.
Just off the rip. Before we get into what we about to do, I'm gonna let you.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, I thought we was just free flowing.
we actually went as far as you did. You actually, like, yeah, I'm talking.
Oh, I thought y'all asked me why I dislike. Oh, my bad.
Oh shit. Till next time, I'm Jay.
I'm big.
This is Late Logic. Catch us next time.
Peace.
Peace.